Hello everybody, I am just going to create this little quick video to share with some fellow teachers how I use Study Island in my classroom. We'll also go over a few of the basic features and just some of the lessons that I have learned after using it for many years with my students. Some lessons were hard learned and some were easier, but I think I have it working pretty seamlessly in my classroom right now, so I hope this can be of help. If you have any questions at the end of the video, please feel free to shoot me an email and I'd be happy to help. Alright, the screen you see here is just the home page of studyisland.com. I go ahead and log in. And you can see this is kind of like where your home page when you come. There are several things that you can look at. You've got all about your classes, you've got your assignments, you've got a way to get reports, and then you have your blue ribbon snapshot, which tells you your students who have the highest and the lowest number of blue ribbons. There's also a teacher's lounge where they have a blog. They have webinars, which are little videos, just kind of like this, that you can look to learn new things. All right, and that's the overview. So in the other video that I shared with you guys, I showed how to actually create a class and create classes and create assignments. But now I'm going to show you, now that I'm in my class with some assignments that have been set up since the beginning of the year and with my own students, I'm going to just talk a little bit about what the students see and then what I see and how I use it as a progress monitoring kind of tracking tool within the classroom, and also as a tool to help students be self-regulated learners. All right, the first thing first is what the students see. You can see I told you earlier that I first assigned second grade content just to give them time to become familiar with the actual interface and to also shore up any content gaps that they may have, especially since we switched to Common Core Math this year and the ELA Common Core is pretty new to them still. So going back and reviewing some past skills certainly has not ever hurt them. And the kids who move through it quickly, it builds their confidence, and the kids that need the extra time appreciate the time to review. All right, so the students, they would get to something that looks pretty much like this, dependent upon what your assignments have been. So I'll just do a sample. We'll just do real world problems, and they always have 4 different modes. The game mode, usually if you go with the school settings, which I did in my last video, it's only enabled, I think, if the kids have a 70 or 80% or higher average overall. Like everything that they've done. Let me go back to this for a second. Right, let's see, where is it? Oh, somewhere, maybe when the students are logged in, because I'm logged in as a teacher right now, it tells them their overall score. It takes all their performance to date, and it gives them an overall score. And I think it has to be above 70%, otherwise game mode is disabled. And you can make that more or less strict, dependent upon what you expect for your students. All right, so going back to that's game mode. There are lots of games, beginner games, intermediate games. We do not have a premium account, I don't think. Oh, we sure do. Let's see, 32 lawns. Hopefully I don't embarrass myself and get this one wrong because I'm doing this on the fly. 21, yes. So you get to take a turn at the game. Oh, we do have the premium games. That's cool. So you get to choose a level, choose a rain catcher, and play. I need to catch all the 20s. Oh, I'm clicking and dragging my mouse right now. I wonder if you get a question wrong, though. I wonder if you still get a turn. Let's go try that out. I actually want to exit. Okay. Go back. Let's do the next question. Let's see. Nope. And no chance. No chance to play the game. Very good. All right. So as you can see there, if the students get the question right on their first attempt, they get a turn at the game. So that's not too bad. If they do get it wrong on their first attempt, I always have to teach them that even though you got the star eventually, when that red X showed up first, that counts against your session score. So you can see up here that for this session, I've gotten 1 out of 2 right. If I were to have multiple attempts on the same topic, say I had tried real world problems yesterday and I tried it again the day before, I would have an overall score and it would accumulate all of my sessions. And the overall score is what is looked at to earn the blue ribbons. Most of them you have to have at least 10 items completed with a 70% higher, and then the students earn the blue ribbons. And a lot of times they'll get confused. They'll get 3 questions right in a row, and then they'll say, oh, I got 100%. Why don't I have a blue ribbon? And maybe it's because they've not completed the minimum number of items. Or if they have gotten several of them wrong on previous sessions, and in the current session they are doing really well, I tell them they first have to get their overall score up, because it takes overtime, and all your sessions combined is what qualifies for that blue ribbon. So I kind of explain it to them that for every question they get wrong, they have to get 2 questions right to undo that, because the wrong answer takes them negative, brings their average really far down, and the 1 question right gets them just back up to where they should be, and they have to get another question right to actually increase their overall average. So they get used to that, but it's confusing at first. Okay, so one of the tools they can use if they are struggling is this explanation piece. It's usually written, so some of your better readers, they can benefit from this. I'm going to actually end this study session. I want to show you a couple other resources that they have. Let's kind of give their results. Return to the main menu. All right, and back at the main menu, they have a couple of choices. They have a lesson that they can click if they were struggling with a topic. Most of them have a written explanation, but then oftentimes there is a movie that goes along with it, and they're actually usually pretty entertaining.
I get real nervous about doing math. Sometimes I just don't get it. Well, Amelia, math is something that will stay with you for the rest of your life.
Anyway, so they can watch that, and sometimes that's enough just to jog their memory about a certain skill that maybe they had forgotten about or not had too much exposure to. It gives a couple of examples of how they could solve it. So that's really neat. And then some of them have flashcards. Maybe that starts at 3rd grade level. Oh no, there you go. These are flashcards. So you can make printable flashcards or interactive flashcards. I think that's 8. Go flip it. Yep, it's 8. So they can just go through and practice different things there. So those are kind of fun. And that's basically what we do. Like I said, they start with 2nd grade level content, and then they move up to 3rd grade level content. What I like to do to track their progress is at the end of each week, we go to school reports, and then I usually just use the blue ribbon report. I do a grade book format, do the students in my class. We'll just look at 2nd grade. Excuse me. View report. There we go, and I can see how many ribbons they have earned. I can sort it least to greatest if I'm just going to look at the math. You can do report filters. For whatever reason, I sometimes do kind of a contest thing, and I like to track who earns the most ribbons each week. So you could make it just start on Monday and end on Friday, and then update that. And that's kind of fair, I think, because some kids, if they get behind initially, then they tend to give up because they think some friends are maybe so far ahead of them for whatever reason. Maybe they were in an intervention group and they just didn't get to join in the fun until later on, or maybe they're new to the school. If it make it cumulative from the beginning of the year, they may just never think that they're going to catch up to those bluebirds who are way far ahead of them. But if you filter the actual dates and just make it every week a different contest, then it kind of starts over again, and they can stay motivated week after week, even if they did have a bad run for a little while. So those are the reports. Let's see, you can also do a grade book report. You can do by subject, broken down by topic. So again, we'll look at my 2nd grade math. You can also filter by time in this one, which is kind of cool because some students like to get on this at home and maybe their older brother or sister or a parent work on it with them or for them. So you can filter so it's only from 9 to 4 that happens, and you can even make it only weekdays. So then anything they do on the weekend also doesn't count, and you can view the report. Excuse me. And it kind of goes all across. It tells you everything. It tells you if they earned the blue ribbon. If they did, it turns green. And then if they have not, you can see how many items they've tried and what their percentage is. For example, here Keyshawn has tried 41 times to symbolize addition with only 56% success. So that is something I need to sit down with him, see if he's using his lessons, if he's reading the examples and going through the explanations, figure out what is up with him. Trisha over here, you can see she tried 8 linked problems with only 50%. And you notice across the board, she has earned almost every other blue ribbon. So that is definitely an area of weakness, as are graphs. Oh dear. She's really struggling there in an area by counting, which is a totally new concept. So, excuse me. Trisha here overall is doing fantastic. 220 items with an 84% average, with just a few little dings that I need to try to shore up for her. Maybe it even could be partnering her up with somebody. Down here, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids that have earned that blue ribbon. So I can figure out who they are, see if they'll work with her on maybe 3 or 4, and then release her to do the rest of them to get on her own and see if she can bring her average up. That's always a good kind of cooperative learning thing. And yeah, it also helps to see if some kids are playing that game mode, if they are wasting a lot of time on perhaps a specific item. I know in 3rd grade, I'm so sorry. In 3rd grade, there's even and odd. And I had a couple of boys one year, they had so much fun playing the game, they had like 300 even and odd questions completed because they were fast and easy and they knew how to figure it out. And I caught them, and now I have a talk with my class every year about that. That once they earn a blue ribbon, they need to move on to a new topic, and once they've earned all their blue ribbons, they let me know, and I create a new topic for them with harder content. So anyway, that's just a brief overview. I'm sure I forgot a lot of stuff, but like I said, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to come help or create another video if that's helpful. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I apologize about the coughing, but I think I'm getting a cold. So I hope you have a good night. Thank you.